And the fallout continues from a viral video at a Starbucks in Philadelphia. The company CEO has apologized and called for more unconscious bias training. Here's what he said on GMA. Take a look.
I personally apologize to the two gentlemen that visited our store. Now, certainly, it's my responsibility to understand what happened and what led to that and ensure that we fix it.
And this is this viral video right here, which has been viewed nearly 10 million times. It shows two black men being arrested and escorted from the store. The police were reportedly called because the men failed to order anything. They were waiting for a friend to show up. Meantime, there's calls to boycott the popular coffee chain, and the manager who called the police has left the company, and what a spokesperson has called the decision mutual. Do we think that people should be boycotting Starbucks? I mean, what do you think?
Well, I like Dunkin' Donuts anyway, so I'll boycott. I'll boycott. But I just think, you know what? I think this is one bad person. I don't think the company should suffer. I lived in Santa Monica for the last 5 years, and every time I went to a Starbucks, there was a homeless man sitting there, and they gave him a cup of coffee just to, treat him well and things like that. I think this is a decision of one bad apple, and it shouldn't spoil the bunch.
And Starbucks has apologized. They said they want to meet with the two men and actually have them tell them what more they can do, and they are going to implement additional training, which they already do.
Yeah, and I respect that. And I told you about a story about a month ago. I went to a boutique, and the woman told me I couldn't touch the dress because it was for customers.
Wow.
And as a customer, I was a bit confused. The owner jumped in and was like, wait a minute, hold on. And I can kind of like separate the idea between a person who works there who no longer works there and the owner and the actual shop. So I think that's what we really have to make a decision on.
I agree, because listen, if Starbucks did not apologize, if they didn't say they want to meet with the two men and do unconscious bias training, I would say, yeah, boycott them. But in my opinion, they're doing everything possible. They also, in 2015, they had the baristas write race together on all the cups so they could incite a conversation amongst their customers about race relations. Why are people boycotting Starbucks with this one? Are we living in a mob mentality where it's almost dangerous?
Well, it's I understand.
Or am I wrong?
No, I wouldn't say that you're wrong. I think that people have figured out what works. And what works is what we always talk about on this panel, when you hit somebody in the pocketbook. Because if they just did a couple, marches outside of the front of the Starbucks, we wouldn't be talking about it. What happens is when you go after people's money, that's when things start to change. And as a person that went to graduate school and got his undergrad in biology, I spent a lot of time studying at Starbucks. And I remember one time I was in the Starbucks and there was a lawyer next to me that was, I swear on my grandmother's life, that was seeing clients at the Starbucks. There was in a court, and no one was bothering this man. He was using it as his office. He had a circuit breaker. That's how many things he had plugged in. So it's like, don't tell me that people don't hang around at a Starbucks. Coffee shops, bookstores, those are built for people to kind of loiter and just goof around. Did anybody ever ask you to get up and move when you're at a Barnes & Noble? Absolutely not. Everybody there is sitting around doing nothing. So why did these two guys that clearly were not talking loudly, clearly didn't have a radio playing with no earbuds in it? Like, what is the thing that really attracted the attention of them?
I think it was prejudice, for sure.
Do you blame the company or do you blame the individual who made that decision?
Oh, I actually absolutely blame the individual. Starbucks has really gone out of their way to try and be as diverse and, with training their staff. And I mean, you do get a couple bad apples. Right. But at the same time, I understand why they're boycotting.
Yeah.